is the day of favor. Good news is in the air. Hope has arrived in Jesus. Our rescue starts right here. Oh, what kind of love searches the dark, trades all he's got to bring us home. What kind of grace runs to our aid, lays down his life when we're sinking. Your love has turned us around, set our feet on solid ground, set our feet on solid ground. Your faithful love has turned us around, set our feet on solid ground, set our feet on solid ground.
Welcome to Catalyst Kids. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're looking forward to today's session. So today we're going to continue looking at some big questions. Today's big question from J. John's book, That's a Good Question, is how should I live? What does God want me to do with my life? Now some of you might immediately think, I know what I want to do with my life. It might be that you've always dreamt about being a racing car driver. Maybe you've wanted to be a computer game tester. Maybe you've always wanted to be a nurse. Or maybe you're someone who just always wanted to travel. Well, all of those things are really good. But did you know God has a real purpose for your life? So throughout the session, you're going to have fun things to make. You're going to see some of the leaders get rather messy. You're going to hear Sonia tell us our story all about the Great Commission. But we're going to start off with a time of worship that Sarah is going to lead us in. So over to you, Sarah.
Hello, Catalyst Kids. As Nikki just said, we are going to start this session with praise today. Are you ready to worship God? We're going to start with a lively one. It's called Alive. You might know it. Let's get on our feet, get ready to worship God. Let's be thankful to Him that we're alive and for all the good things that we have, all the brilliant things He brings into our life, because He is good. Take it away, Hannah.
How fast can you go? You can do the best fast and do the high. Go. I think I can do it. I don't know. Yeah, well done. Okay, next verse. Here we go.
The darkest night, let your love be the shining light, breaking chains that were holding me. You sent your son down to set me free. Everything of this world will fade. I'm pressing on till I see your face.
And then down.
I will live that your will be done. I won't stop till your kingdom come.
Jump, jump, jump.
You are my freedom. We lift you higher.
Right, what are we going to do this time? Robot, go! Too big, wobbly, too wobbly. And I want to get you really down low, down on the floor. You won't be able to see me. No, no.
You are my freedom. We lift you higher. You are my freedom. We lift you higher, lift you higher. Your love, never ending. Oh, you are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free.
Get him around again, let's go.
You are alive in us. Nothing can take your place. You are all we need. Your love has set us free.
Last bit of dancing, what are you going to do? Run it, man. Sorry, pose.
Thank you, Hannah, for leading us in that great song. We're going to slow things down a little bit now. So the question for this week that Nikki asked right at the beginning is, what would God like you to do with your life? God has a purpose for you. It's not an accident that you were born. It's not an accident that you're who you are, that you've got the gifting, the talents, the things that you're good at that God has given you. It's not an accident that you're born into the town and the family where you're born. So what are your dreams? What are your dreams for God? What would you love to do for Him now at school and as you grow older? My eldest son, when he got baptised as a teenager, I bought him a cushion because it's something we often talked about. It says, enjoy every adventure. Your life is an adventure. My life is an adventure. So we're going to take a moment of silence now, just to sit. Why don't you close your eyes? Why don't you dream some dreams and say, God, I would love to do this. Or maybe, God, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I'd like to do. But will you help me become the person you want me to be? Will you help me be brave and grab opportunities that you give me? Just be quiet for a moment. I'm going to pray. Dear God, thank you that you made each one of us different. Thank you that you know us inside out. Thank you that you love us for who we are, for who you made us to be. God, would you help us to dream big dreams, to be ready to go on big adventures. God, would you help us to be brave for you? Amen. We're going to finish this time of worship by singing, You Make Me Brave. Sing it with gusto. Sing it like you really mean it. God, you make me brave. I stand before you now, the greatness of your renown. I have heard of the majesty and wonder of you. King of heaven, in humility I bow. As your love, in wave after wave, crashes over me, crashes over me. If you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in. You make me brave, you make me brave. You call me out beyond the shore into the waves. You make me brave, you make me brave. No fear can hinder now the promises you made. You make me brave, you make me brave. You call me out beyond the shore into the waves. You make me brave, you make me brave. No fear can hinder now the promises you made. Because your love can wave after wave. It crashes over me, crashes over me. If you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in. Your love, you wave after wave, crashes over me, crashes over me. If you are for us, you are not against us. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to. Champion of heaven, you made a way for all to enter in.
Wow, what a great time of worship. It's so lovely to sing and worship God. Now we're going to just continue with our theme of what does God want me to do with my life? And to do this, we're going to have a look at a Bible story. And it sets us with a mission that Jesus left us with before he went to heaven. Let's have a look. Now everyone likes a secret mission, but you'll find by the end of this story that Jesus wants everyone to know about this mission. So we're calling it the Great Commission. A joining together on a special mission. Are you ready? Let's go. So we find in the Bible that the disciples had just spent years following Jesus. They went around performing many miracles. They healed those that were sick. They raised some people who had died back to life. They helped a blind man to see for the first time. They healed a lame man who had then got up, grabbed his mat and off he went. And they shared God's love wherever they went. Then they had their last supper together just before he was arrested. And then they crucified him on the cross. What are we going to do now, they must have thought. But just like he said he would, he rose again. And then he was there with them, just like he had never died. Then the disciples went to Galilee, to a mountain where Jesus had told them to go. And when they saw him, they worshipped him. But some doubted who he was. But Jesus came to them, and this is what he said. All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. So go and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, and teach them to obey everything I have commanded you. I am with you always and forever. Wow. Then he went to heaven. So that is our mission, to tell people what Jesus has done for them. We can do that wherever we are, wherever we go, whatever the situation we're in, and with whoever God brings across our path. So whatever God has for you in your life, as you do it, let's also do what Jesus asked us and go and make disciples.
So wasn't that great to hear what Sonia was saying about Jesus and what he said to his disciples, which also applies to us. Go and make disciples of all the nations. Well, I'm going to take us back to J. John's question. What does God want me to do with my life? Well, God made us all unique and with all very different talents. So some of you might be great at football. Some of you might be amazing at playing the piano or the violin. Some of you might be amazingly generous. Some of you are very good at being kind to others. God made us all very different, which is lovely because it means we can't compare ourselves to each other. God has a different plan for each one of our lives. So there is no right answer. What does God want me to do with my life? But God has got 3 things that he does want us to do. And they'll be the same for all of us. Do you know, he wants us to know him really well. He wants us to love him, to fall in love with him, and then he would love us to serve him. We can get to know God in so many different ways. There are so many different films and videos. There's music. We've got the Bible that we can read. There's so many stories about the life of Jesus, who he was, what he was like. Jesus was someone who loved people really well. He was kind. He gave of his time. And you know, as we get to know who Jesus was, we become more like him. So the aim is that we become kinder, that we become more loving, that we put others ahead of ourselves. Why don't you take some time this week to spend some time with Jesus? Maybe look at some of your favourite stories, maybe watch a video or listen to a song. And just thank him for who he is and who he's made you. Thank him for the special things that he's put in you. You know, if you're sitting with your mum or your dad, get them to say what their favourite things are about you. What are the things that God has put in you that are so special? And then learn to grow those things. God's given you those things because you are unique and special. And he's going to use those as you grow up. If you'd like to know more about what we've talked about today, about who Jesus is, maybe you'd like to become a friend of Jesus, please do email us at ignite@catalyst.org. We'd love to be in contact with you and help you get connected with a local church and just find out more about who Jesus is and what he could mean to your life.
Thank you for that, Nikki. That was really helpful. And now we're going to do a challenge. Now it's time to see us leaders do something just a little bit daft. So I'm in my kitchen to try and find something for us to do. Bear with me 1 second. I have an excellent idea. What we're going to do is, in pairs, we're going to get an egg. This is no yolk now. We're going to get an egg and we're going to throw it to each other and we're going to see how far apart we can get before it breaks. It's going to be cracking. Here we go.
Jesus tells us to go and make disciples of all nations. I've got a really quick craft that you can do at home that will help you to remember this. So for this craft, you're going to need some thick card, strong cardstock, or maybe some craft foam, an old map that you're happy to cut up. Now, ideally, it would be a map of the world, but my children quite like this map and don't want me to cut it up. So what I'm doing is using a tourist leaflet that I got for free that's actually of a city that is close to my heart. So I'm going to, and I think that's quite a nice picture, so I'm going to use that as my map. You'll need a marker pen, scissors and glue, a hole punch, and then something to hang your decoration with. So that could be some thread, or if you don't have any of that, an elastic band will work. Okay, so first of all, you need to take your card and you need to draw on that card a very simple template of a dove. Now, if you don't feel confident doing this, you can go online, quite easily print out a template shape for a dove. There's lots of them available. So something just like that. And when you've got your template, cut that out. Okay. So now you should have your dove shape. And all you need to do is stick this to the back of your map. So make sure you decide which part of the map you want to be visible. And then on the opposite side, you want to stick your dove. So just make sure that you know what your dove's going to look like on the right side when you do it. Use your glue. Stick that one there. And cut it out again. Okay, so now we have our dove with our map print on it. And now all we have to do as our prayer reminder is write our memory verse on here. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations. And on his tail, we can write the verse. Matthew 28, verse 19. Now you can make that much more decorative if you wanted to. Finally, punch a hole into his wing. And whether you're using thread or an elastic band, thread that through to make a loop so that you can hang it up to remind you to pray.
Brilliant, guys. We are going to be combining two of my favourite things. That is the Bible and cake. So this is a fantastic verse, and it just talks about how actually God has an amazing plan for our future. So let's go through it once with all our cake here, and then we'll see what happens next. So we've got, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And that's from Jeremiah 29:11. So as we go along, Jess and I, we're feeling a little bit peckish. We're going to be eating some cake, and then you're going to have to try and remember this whole verse, but without the words. Should we see how we go? Let's do it.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11.
Brilliant. I'm feeling hungry. Should we go?
Go for it.
For I know the plan I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11.
I think we need some more.
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah?
Let's go.
For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11.
Brilliant. That's fantastic. I've eaten quite a lot. I'm starting to feel a little bit sick. But I think we should go for another one. I'm definitely going to grab a big cake.
Which one?
I think I'm going to prosper.
Cool.
Let's feast.
Yeah.
Should we give it another go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29:11. Right, let's clear it. You ready? Right, let's go through it one last time together. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. It's Jeremiah 29:11. Fantastic Bible verse. I hope
Great cake.
I hope that our cake eating will help you remember it.
So we all hope you've enjoyed the session today, that you can now take some time getting to know God more, getting to dream big about what he has for your life. If you'd like to get in contact with any of the team, please feel free to email ignite@catalyst.org and one of the team will be able to get back to you. You can send us in any videos, you can send us in any stories of things that you're doing or questions that you may want to ask us. Have fun, but we thought we'd finish today with a mad water fight. take a look and see how many of your team you can see. Take care. Bye.
Right.
Right! You got me! Who's next? Oh, that's cold.
This is the day